Alright, coming back at you guys with another trade recap today. I took one short today. Took one trade short on NQ, and I just want to kind of run back through price and show you guys what what I was kind of thinking at market open. Actually, fuck. Let me go one more up. Okay. So let's kind of just clear the chart here, and I kind of just want to show you guys what I was going through, or what my bias was going into today. So looking at the 4 hour, if you guys didn't know, overnight, in the overnight session, Israel actually bombed the fuck out of Iran. So we had a huge move down. I mean, market was down like almost 2% overnight. And we actually displaced this 4 hour change of state. So we had this 4 hour change of state in the overnight session, and we actually put in these relative equal lows with this internal low. And ES took this low. If I look over at ES, oh my gosh. ES actually took this low right here. We took this internal low. And so we actually had kind of a little bullish SMT. It wasn't really high confluence for me. So, but going into the day, I had a bearish bias, because we also had this massive 4 hour for value gap that I wanted to see us get tapped, and obviously we did tap it. And I wanted to see us come back to equilibrium and possibly OTE of this price leg. So, scrolling down, we ended up, and so basically what I wanted to see is going into market opens, I obviously wanted to see that change in the state get tapped. I wanted to see Asia highs get taken. This is what I marked out was Asia highs. So if you look at the supply S&D profile, those were Asia highs, and I wanted to see New York AM lows be the draw after we took those highs and tapped into the change of state. So coming to the market open, I was really patient, and I wanted to see us have a bearish bias, but in the moment I knew we were probably going to go tap back into equilibrium, so I didn't touch this at all. So we come up and we take Asia high. ES never took Asia high in the morning. Let me get there real quick. Okay. ES never took Asia high, so we had a bearish SMT with Asia high, but it really wasn't that big. Asia high really wasn't a high. It was kind of because we had such a big move yesterday, but we did have this internal 1 minute SMT. ES never took that high. So we have an SMT, we swept the internal sell side, we just swept Asia high. ES actually tapped back into the 4 hour change of state. NQ never did. But ES tapped back into the 4 hour change of state. Where the fuck are we? Okay. ES tapped back into the 4 hour change of state. So right now I'm just being patient. I have a really bearish bias, and not to mention, we are back at OTE of this price leg. So really liking how this is forming, but just want to continue to be patient. I marked this out as the change. Technically, it's not the change, but I really wanted to see us get below this candle, and I would have been in. And then we also were respecting this 1 minute fair value gap that I wanted to see us displace through. So once we displace the change of state, I enter short, put my SL at this SMT protected high, and I targeted New York session lows. Now, we began chopping here, and this was, keep in mind, I took this trade 6 minutes before 8 a.m. high impact news. So I knew there was a risk, but and it was consumer sentiment, so it wasn't the craziest high impact, but I just knew that either the news is going to help us push towards the draw, or we might rebalance to the change of state or the inverse fair value gap. So, which is exactly what we did. And then keep in mind, I'd scaled the 3 minute, and we were holding this 3 minute bearish fair value gap. And so I added more to my position. I added 2 more cons to my position, and we just ended up falling straight to New York low. And just added confluence that I actually just realized now, or after the trade, I should say. After the trade, right here. Standard deviation projection, right to New York AM low. And then look at this precision. Bounce right back up and go tap the change in the state. But that was my trade today. Caught around 115 points. I'm not up much because I have been scaling down just because of the shitty price action. But next week I'll probably scale back up to my normal contract. Sorry, my throat's fucking hella dry. But yeah, that was my trade today. Ending up the week a pretty penny. Took 2 trades this week. I'm up pretty big on the week, and yeah, this is what trading is about. Patience, taking your setups. I only took 2 trades this week. I've taken like 7 trades in the past like month. So just really being patient with my setups. Heading into this weekend, reflecting on what I could have done right, and what I did right, and what I could have done better, and what I did wrong in the week. And heading into next week with a clean slate, like nothing ever happened.